Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast. I'm Andre, your host, and today I'm covering the topic of the detailing equipments that we use. Back then, when I was starting detailing myself, I used to watch videos on YouTube and see all these detailers, and they would show on the video how they do this and, different things in detailing, how to detail a car, for example. And I've always been looking in the corner of the screen, trying to see what type of equipment they're using, what type of vacuum, from the very simple stuff to the more complex things like the buffing pads and everything else. And they wouldn't show it. Sometimes they wouldn't show it because they would focus on the video that they were actually doing. And I'll always have to look in the corner of the screen. So if you guys are curious to know what we use here at Wings Mobile Detailing, we're a growing company, and we always keep it simple. That's our concept. A lot of the products that we use, they're effective and simple at the same time, but with good quality. We choose the best qualities. If you're a beginner detailer, you'd like to know which equipments to get to detail cars, I also have a blog that it's written already and it's posted on the website. So if you guys check out the description below on this podcast, click on the link and you go straight to the blog and see images of which equipment that we use that I recommend. Stay with the introduction now.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezalira.
All right, guys, so getting right to the point with the equipments, without much of examples that I'm going to use, why they're good, why they're not. I'm just going to throw it out there, the materials that we use, and go very short on each material and equipments that we use for auto detailing. Mainly, especially for detailing specialists. So vacuum cleaners, for example. Do you like to use the rigid vacuum? You can find that on Home Depot. And the one from Rigid Vacuum that I use is the 4-gallon and 5 horsepower. It's a little bit over 5 horsepower peak. And that's the one I use, the Rigid 4-gallon. And why don't I use a bigger vacuum so I don't have to empty it out too soon? It's because, funny story, and if you were one of Rigid representative, please let me know what's going on here, because I really don't understand. But the reason I have to be forcefully pick the 4-gallon one instead of the bigger 6-gallon, I'm talking about the dry vacuum, not the wet ones, as opposed to the 6-gallon one, 9-gallon, 16-gallon. It's because the 6-gallon one, which would work perfectly, I don't have to be emptied out like I do have on the 4-gallon. The 6-gallon vacuum is 3.5 horsepower. And the 4-gallon is 5.5 horsepower. It's over 5. And why is that the bigger vacuum you do, it's not as strong? And I used it before. It's really not powerful at all. The rigid vacuums are great. The rigid 4-gallon one, that's the one I use, the 4-gallon rigid from Home Depot. And that's the reason I don't get the 6 one. Or the 9-gallon one. The 9-gallon one is 4.2 horsepower. I'm not trying to hate here. I'm just explaining why I use that, and I'm curious to why it's less powerful if it's a bigger vacuum. And also the cable on the 6-gallon is extremely short. It's really, really, really short, the power cable on those vacuums. The 4-gallon one, perfect. Love that. The hose that comes with the vacuum is great. It doesn't last as long. So what I do for the vacuum hose is I go to Amazon and I buy a different brand of hose. And it's also very hard. And if you're taking notes, please write this down if you want to know later, or check out the blog underneath on the description. But the hose that I find, it's really good. It lasts much longer than compared to the ones that comes with the rigid vacuum. And it's thicker. So you can buy separate on Home Depot a vacuum hose to where it's longer and less longer. But the attachments on it, the outlet of the attachments that you can put on the hose is very thin. It's very small. So I go to Amazon and I buy the Mr. Nozzle vacuum tool kit. I buy that hose. That hose itself, it comes with some accessories for the hose, but that hose itself, that's the only thing I get. It's not too cheap, so if you're starting out, you want to start with the vacuum hose from the rigid vacuum, it's fine. That's how I started. But if you want to buy a different hose, go to Mr. Amazon and buy the Mr. Nozzle vac tool kit. And then I buy the tip for it, the actual attachment for that nozzle. The attachment that comes with the rigid vacuum, you can use it on this hose. Or the actual crevice tool that I buy is Flex Exhaust from Amazon. So that's going vacuum wise. Now let's jump to the other things, because I know there's a lot to cover. Maybe you don't need vacuum and you want to just skip through. Let's say steamer, for example. The steamer that I use is the McGallock steamer. It's like a black one with yellow accents. Also purchased from Amazon, and they're about $170. There are professional steamers out there that you can buy for $700-800, and they're stronger, more powerful. Yes, I've used one of those before. They are better, although they're more expensive. So if you want to keep it simple, if you're willing to spend money, you can go ahead and buy that one. But if not, you want to keep it simple, you can buy this McGallock one. And they work pretty well. It is recommended that you use distilled water for the steamer, because if you don't use distilled water, if you just use regular tap water, this is what I used a lot before, the salt is going to start to corrode. The salt from the water is going to start to corrode inside of the steamer, and it's not going to last as long. Maybe if you're using almost every day, it's not going to last you over 8 months or 9 months. So, watch out. If you still want to keep using tap water, just, be aware that it's really not going to last long. It doesn't matter if it's the most expensive steamer or this one, you still want to use clean distilled water if you want it to last. If you're not worried much about it and you just want to throw like regular water in there, which is what I did, it's fine. It's just not going to last longer. For the shampoo though, if you're using the shampoo for the steamer to shampoo vehicles, what is nice, you can buy those 5-inch pads that you put on buffer, those buffer that you buy already. Bonnet, that's what it's called. A 4 or 5-inch bonnet, and you can attach to the triangle head of the steamer. Bam, use that to shampoo, so you don't have to wrap a microfiber towel with an elastic around the triangle head. Now let's jump pressure washers. What I really like to do, and if you're having problems with pressure washer that they don't last long, you're not the first one. Maybe it's not even, your pressure washer sucks and they're better out there. Honestly, I've tried multitude of pressure washers. I tried the Greenworks. I did all the ones from home that Home Depot sells, from Lowe's. I don't even remember the brand, but I tried multiple different electric pressure washers. I don't have much experience with gas ones, but if the pump itself it should be the same. So the electric pressure washer that I use does break. Any pressure washer does break if you let it freeze, if the water freezes. If it's in winter and they let the water freeze once, either on the steamer or the pressure washer, give it 1 or 2 months, the water unfroze inside. But because already froze once, it's going to expand all inside and it's going to start breaking it just breaks. So don't let the water freeze inside your pressure washer, because otherwise it's going to start breaking. You're going to start hearing noise like it wants to turn on constantly. That's a sign that it's starting to break. The pressure washer that I do use is the Ryobi. You can find it on Home Depot. Again, it's Ryobi. It's about 19 to 2,000 psi, only 1.2 gallon per minute it throws out. But why do I pick this one? Yes, because it's about 2,000 psi. I like that. I don't want anything below. Honestly, I don't get anything below 1,900 psi. And I like the power. Reason number one. Reason number two is because it's small. It's very tiny. And you see a lot of electric pressure washers out there that are big, and you think, are they more resistant? No, they're not more resistant. It's just plastic. It's just extra plastic. The motor itself, the motor inside is the same size. It does the same thing. It breaks just as all the other one breaks. So, I don't know. I'm not very lucky with pressure washers. They don't last very long with me. But overall, I like that. I like the Ryobi small one because of convenience. If you don't mind about size in the shop, and heck, if you want to get an electric pressure washer, as long as it's not over, 2,000 psi, if you're doing car detailing, then go ahead and get a gas pressure washer be careful with that, with the PSI. I do change the hose of the electric pressure washer, and I cut the long cable, the long power cable, because what happens every time on the pressure washer is that circuit breaker on the power cable of your pressure washer, it's gonna start messing it up. It's gonna start going bad, and it's gonna start clicking every time, even when there's no reason to, and it's not gonna let your pressure washer turn on. So I simply cut that off, and I attached like electrician. I just attach a thing. You need tools for that. You need tools to do that. How to switch the outlet from, or inlet from, the power, if you know what I'm talking about. I changed the hose as well. On Home Depot, if you look besides on the shelf, you can find different pressure washer hoses that are more resistant, because the hoses that come with the pressure washers, they are not as strong or resistant. They don't last long. So I just buy a good hose, and if the pressure washer ever breaks, which it does, I just keep the hose and put on the new pressure washer, so I'm not buying new hose again, like I usually am buying new pressure washers. If you can take good care of your pressure washer so it doesn't break, if it's in good hands, you don't let water freeze inside, you can go far with these Ryobi pressure washers as well. And going back to when you're doing shampoo on interior of cars and you need to do a water extraction, if you don't do it much and you just want a small tool, you can go ahead and go to Amazon and buy those. I think they're $150 water extraction machine. They're very small and tiny. But if you're in the shop and you don't need something, you don't mind about getting something bigger, just get a wet vacuum. You can get the same rigid vacuum. That's what I do. You can use the same rigid vacuum from the 4-gallon one, because it is powerful. It's over 5 HP, the 4-gallon one. And you switch the filter. You put the wet filter inside, and you can buy all that from Home Depot even. And heck, you got a very powerful water extractor vacuum, so it can extract water from carpets. Whereas for you to get a powerful water extractor, as powerful as the vacuum cleaner, as the 5 horsepower vacuum cleaner, you would have to spend hundreds of dollars for something if you want to get the actual water extractor. Now, all the water extractor does is extract water. Sometimes it throws hot water in, but I don't need that, because I'm already using shampoo to remove stains. And if I need to extract any water, just get the powerful vacuum. The rigid vacuums are, $90 I think, or less. So that's a good deal. You're gonna get a better tool, better result, because it sucks much better in a positive way. So you're good with that vacuum cleaner. Extension cords. What type of extension cord reel do we use? Extension cord itself, the actual extension cord, you can buy anything, but where do you wrap around it? I have a something that works really well for me, might work well for you, depending on what kind of detailer you are. I never liked those extension cord holders or cable reel that you have to wrap it yourself around with your hand. Those very simple ones. I purchased from Amazon. It's called Quick Winder. Quick Winder electric cord reel. It works really well. It's like a bucket with all the extension cord inside. You can pick 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet of extension cord, and you can just put it inside, and the way you wrap it, you just twist the bucket. Can't explain it, but check out Quick Winder. It's really good, much better than the other ones. Not sure if it's still available on Amazon. If not, Google up, go to eBay, and you'll find it. If you ever use a generator as well, I haven't had much luck with electric start generators. Obviously, I did not buy a Honda. I heard Hondas are good, but if you're looking more for a generator around, the $400 price range, I do recommend the Wen generators, and not the one with the electric start. I mean, it is convenient. It's good when it's working, but I had 3 of them. And the electric start of them they broke on the 3 of them that I had. Whereas the pull cable, you just pull it and you're not paying extra. So, unless you find a different brand, but the ones that I tried, they're not like the Honda ones that I heard they're good. But the Honda ones are over $1,500, I heard, as far as I know. And yeah, the Detailing bucket also, you can get any bucket. Any bucket that has grit guard on it. Definitely want a grit guard 5 gallon bucket. Usually they're the ones that you can fit a grit guard inside. And yeah, we get some Adams grit guard wash bucket, and they comes the complete kit. They're about $30, but I'm not sure if you'd like to find it cheaper. You can just regular 5 gallon bucket with grit guard to protect from the dirt from mixing with the water. You know what it is? Towels, we use different towels. I wasn't much gonna get on these type of products, but we use different colors for each different vehicles. Microfiber towels for sure, but I'm sticking with the equipments on this podcast. Another one's the buffer. Buffer, I got my personal opinion on buffers. You guys, detailers out there, each one of you, I'm sure, has your personal favorite type of buffer. I've used, and this is gonna sound silly, but I've personally, and I have some of the guys that works for Wings Mobile Detailing, they prefer the Rupus buffer. Rupus is a very well-known brand. They cost around $400, I believe, and we have one. I personally like the Grides Garage dual action dual action buffer, even on top of the Rupus. I know it's weird. But I feel like because it's smaller, it's not that I have more control, but because I don't know, I just feel like I have more control. It feels better in my hands. I can't explain it. I just like the Grides Garage better than the Rupus. A lot of my guys just prefer the Rupus because it's more professional. But I've done paint correction before. Grides Garage work great. It's how you do it. It's a combination of pads that you use, combination of products, and we have podcasts. If you guys like to know more about pad combinations that you're not using, variety of products and a lot of pads, different pads to try it out. If you want to more keep it uniform, and you are curious to see which works well to do a paint correction, for example, scroll down the list and see our paint correction podcast. But that's the one I like, the Grides Garage. It has a 25 feet cord already on it, so I don't need an extension cord to connect to it. So I just love it. I really like it. I like how it feels. Personal opinion here. I get the 6-inch usually. One more thing, just worth mentioning, the sprayers as well, the sprayer products, and you have the actual sprayer. It keeps breaking. And you're thinking, which sprayer that never breaks and I can always use to put my acid wheel cleaner and my regular wheel cleaner in there, the greaser that doesn't break. I haven't found one. That lasts forever. I use the Chemical guys, what they call it, professional chemical resistant heavy duty bottle and sprayer. Chemical guys like to use all these type of fancy words. Professional chemical resistant heavy duty bottle and sprayer. It's I don't see how it's chemical resistant, how it's heavy duty. I don't know what they mean by that, because the sprayers, they really don't last. I put wheel cleaner in there, even getting the heavy duty one that they call it heavy duty. So they don't last. I just have to keep buying the sprayers until they go out. The bottles are nice. I like the Chemical Guys bottle. You can use any bottle. And what I also like to use as degreaser is the pump bottle. The pressure sprayer bottle that you just pump on top and you press it and it just comes out product, so you don't have to keep pumping it. It's nice, like that thing as well. Simple. You see, guys, how I keep things simple. Headlight restoration drill. I like to have a drill with me. Sometimes you might want a drill to use the actual attachment to shampoo the floors. With the brush, the drill brush that works. The actual machine, the actual drill that I like is from Amazon. It's from Neiko, Neiko, and it's a small one. They are $40 they cost, and you can get off of Amazon because they're like a vertical one. There's not a lot of there's no settings at all. You can change speed. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, that's not the one for you. But I like that one because I just need one speed. And sometimes I use that to compound the headlights when needed after wet sanding them. Last but not least, water hose that you connect to a pressure washer. The one that I like to use, and it took me a while for me to find a good expendable hose. I wanted an expendable hose. I really wanted that. I wanted something that worked because I had quite a few of expendable hose, and you know how they are, a lot of them that you can buy for cheap. They really don't last. They don't last at all, and they break, they rip. I'm not saying that this expendable hose will last forever, but I really like these. And you can find it usually will cost for 50 feet one around $42. They're also expendable. And read the reviews. If you type on Amazon expendable hoses, if you want an expendable hose, type on Amazon, see the ones that are going to cost around $42, and it has good ratings, and they're usually going to last longer. You know, if you get those expendable hoses that is cheap, like $10, $20, you know, chances are it's not going to last. Now, it's cold outside. You have to wash the car, put your hands inside the cold water in your bucket. Get a bucket heater. See, I'm giving everything away here. Check this out. This bucket heater, it's like I'm doing I'm doing advertising for all these companies. Guys, trust me, I don't get paid for any of this. But this submergible bucket heater, it's really good. It's attached around a guard, so it's not gonna burn your bucket. And it gets the water really warm, like maybe too hot if it's in the winter, like snowy, below zero temperature, below freezing. This bucket heater is really good. It's from Farm Innovators motto. Amazon, you see it there. You submerge inside your soapy water in your bucket and take about 10 minutes. If it's really freezing cold, about 10-15 minutes. Less, maybe 10 minutes. Your water is going to be really hot. It's going to be steaming hot. That's how hot it's going to be. It's not going to boil. It controls, so it doesn't allow the water to boil. So it's in the right temperature if it's really cold. Guys, I hope this helps. I try to keep this podcast a bit short, but I couldn't help myself. 21 minutes already in. There are many other different tips, products that we use. You know, hose connector, quick attachment between one hose and the pressure washer, so you don't have to be screwing it in the water spigot every time you take it in and out, or likewise when you take it in and out in a pressure washer. There are all of these water tank. What type of water tank to use? How do you stop the water from overflowing in your water tank if you're in a mobile vehicle? You know, we are all control. We keep everything simple and very effective at Wings Mobile Detailing. We even have a instruction manual of how to even assemble a van for an effective detailing, so you're not spending hundreds of extra dollars to put stuff in the van that you really don't need for all the services to be completed to par. And I mean, obviously comes as if you invest in franchising with Wings Mobile Detailing, there is, you know, the franchise benefits that comes with for you to being part of the company besides the brand. If you guys are curious, you'd like to know more and get everything straight now, and I try to give you guys as much as I could here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But obviously, there is benefit with becoming franchisee with Wings Mobile Detailing, and all these benefits this is just one small percentage of what it actually is running the business. It's just equipments and products, and the technical part is very simple. So you can ask me. Instagram, check it out, the blog again, related to the products that I just spoke to you guys about. Scroll down and see in the description. I'm going to try to put it there. And if you have any questions, go to Instagram. Anywhere you go, type Wings Mobile Detailing. If you find a number of hours there, if you have any questions, call us, call our office. And thank you very much for listening, guys. Please leave a review if this helps you. Leave a 5-star review below if you're listening on iTunes. And that's it. Just take a little bit of time. Scroll down, put a 5-star there, and then I'll see that it's actually helping. Thank you very much. Every Wednesday, we bring you the podcast, although it is Thursday. My bad. Thank you very much.